It's all you love and know. It's Cannibal Video.
All right, guys, here we're going to talk about June 2019's horror packs. We subscribe to the Blu-ray and the DVD, and we're here to let you know what came in them, what our thoughts on them, if we've seen them, if we recommend them, if we want to see them. Let's find out.
What's our first movie?
First movie, Voodoo Possession.
Okay.
A Danny Trejo movie. I have not seen a trailer for this movie. I don't know anything about it. The director, I know nothing about.
He has directed nothing, it looks like, before. Movie's from 2014. The director has 5 credits, and it's a short film and a whatever video thing. Something called Thrust from 2008. It doesn't ring any bells.
All right, let's see what this is about. There is a fate worse than death. Imagine an insatiable demon that feeds on blood, thrives on pain, and reaches from beyond the grave to torment the living and the dead. For believers and skeptics alike, there is nothing in this world or the next to rival the relentless evil of voodoo possession. Burdened since childhood with gnawing senses of guilt, cynical Aiden Chase, his name apparently, Chase journeys to Haitian insane asylums in search of his missing brother. Upon arriving, he discovers all the inmates and the hospital administrator, Danny Trejo from Machete, are seemingly possessed by bloodthirsty voodoo spirit. Now, Aiden must abandon reality and descend into the terrifying spirit world to try and rescue his brother, or they will both be damned for eternity. Sounds like it's going to be up its own ass.
Yeah, that main guy is Ryan Caltaglione.
All right, what is his claim to fame?
Young and the Restless, and a TV show called Teachers where he plays hot dad.
All right, so he's in nothing.
Sounds like the best.
I don't know.
I was going to interrupt you, which would violate one of our basic rules of don't interrupt the other person while they're reading the box. In the beginning, it's like, imagine a terror that feeds on pain. I was going to be like, oh, that's my ex-wife, or something. It's going to do that, or something as like a dumb joke homage thing.
So I'm wondering, Danny Trejo has huge top billing because he's the only name here that people want to see. He's huge on the back of the box. I'm going to say he's in this movie for 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, he is the guy at the place where the main guy goes to. He's not the main guy, so like...
He's probably the boss at the end.
Oh, okay.
Or he's in the beginning for a minute and we just never see him.
Well, he's like the warden of the insane asylum or whatever they call it, administrator. Then weird stuff starts happening. He dies, which shows that things are popping off and it's crazy here now. We thought he was bad, but now the possessed people killed him.
This is
right?
I don't know. I feel like this is taking on, like, zombies are super popular, but this is going to be a weird version because it's a possession. It's going to be zombies that don't necessarily need to have face makeup and stuff. Now they do on the box. They do all seem to have twisted faces. Yeah. But as we've proven, box art means literally nothing. I'm thinking eye contacts will be as far as it goes, and maybe some people won't even have that.
There's some like Dia de los Muertos, like face paint on somebody there. This says Haiti. This is like where the zombie voodoo whole thing starts or whatever. So I'm not.
I've seen James Bond. I know.
Believe me, the heart rate slows to barely nothing. No, yeah, it's gonna be that. Danny Trejo is not enough of a draw for me these days.
Danny Trejo is enough of a draw for me.
Okay.
So I like watch. I buy so much junk just because Danny Trejo's in it because
Danny's
I like him.
You?
But
sure.
yeah, he's in like hundreds of movies. It seems like a year.
Yeah.
Because he just likes being in movies.
He's doing it. Man.
It doesn't seem like it's a paycheck thing for him. I think he just generally likes being on sets because he's in a lot of like college kid style movies. So I feel like that's not a paycheck. That's just the love of the craft.
He gets to go around and do stuff, and everywhere it goes, everyone's like, "Oh, it's Danny Trejo! You're so cool, man! Like that's awesome." That's fine.
And he has a production company. What is it like? It's like Trejo 3.0 or Trejo something like that.
Oh, 3.0. That's awful. Is that it? Oh no.
That's not it. That's more clever than it is. I believe.
That's wonderful.
No, but I don't know. So our first movie in the horror pack again is
Voodoo Possession.
All right, you ready for the second one?
Oh yeah, I was born ready.
Second movie in this horror pack is Sand Serpents.
Sand Serpents.
So this one I have seen. These are, I believe, Mongolian death worm type business things. I'll just read the back off here and we'll jump in from there. On a final mission in Afghanistan, a small U.S. military unit confronts an astonishing new enemy, a legion of prehistoric, 6-story tall sand serpents unearthed from their pit 1,000 feet below ground. With the help of Afghani refugee Lieutenant Stanley, played by Jason Gedrick, leads his tiny band of soldiers on a terrifying invasion deep into the desert's vast underground tunnels for a war against terror that they'll never imagined.
Oh, it's terror like terror.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So like the issue, I love movies like this, like creature feature style movies. The problem with ones that like, are things that don't exist is generally the CG is kind of wonky and scale gets thrown off. It's too much focus on something or no shots of the thing for like long periods of time.
We have a serious issue. What with that? 6
slip
stories.
cover though, always cool to have a slip cover.
Bring it for the slip cover.
The Maneater series is pretty awesome. I have like 7 or 8 movies with them.
The 6-story tall sandworm part is the part that's making me like a check out on this thing. Is like that's too big. Like they're not going to be able to interface with the actors.
You've heard my issues with large monsters.
Okay. I have a similar issue, I suppose, with large monsters because we've watched the. I have not seen The Meg, but I have seen movies with mega creatures, and it's usually just people on a soundstage. Oh no, it's killing them, and then it cuts back to the thing.
Well, when they're in the water, at least that's something you can CG a little better.
Yeah,
things work out.
you can hide that.
And sand, it's a little more forgiving and stuff.
Yeah.
But like when you have large monsters, the problem is they don't have the really good ability to interact with their environment.
Yeah.
So like. And low-budget movies has this problem, which I always complain about, where they're not doing the right amount of damage. Like I guarantee, I haven't seen the movie since it came out, but there'll be scenes where it's like, oh, they're all murdered, and you're like, it's gigantic. It only has a mouth. How did it injure them and not just eat them whole?
How did it slash you or just eat your arm? Like, what is going on? Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I forget it's always the thing like, oh, we have to blow up the whatever factory to finish it off. Like,
I was just gonna say, like, how do you even, they'll come up with something.
I think it's an oil something or other.
Like lure them. They're attracted to the sound of the thing and lure them in. It's not tremors at
not
all.
Uncommon.
It's different sandworms. Let's do it.
Director is Jeff Renfro. He did The Colony. That one was actually pretty good.
Okay.
That's what the hell's Morpheus' name? Lawrence Fishburne.
Larry Fishburne.
Cowboy Curtis himself. And that's like like the world's gotten colder type of thing, but a little bit of a twist on that subject, and that was pretty interesting. But that's the only thing really that jumps out at me that he's done in the past. But that movie is way better than this movie. So honestly, this will be me advertising saying, go see The Colony.
Well, director and main character then have a lot of TV credits, and I'm not trying to bash TV, but that's usually a sign, especially if you just did like...
It really depends what the TV is.
6 episodes of Being Human or something like that. It's kind of like, well...
Wait, was it American or British?
I don't even know. I don't care.
Big difference in quality.
Well, and a big difference, 6 episodes. Like, if you're there for the finale and the premiere of several seasons and you have a creator credit, and that's different than just like, oh, you came in.
Well, it's also different American BBC. American 6 episodes, you did 1/4.
That's
6 there, it's like, oh, you did the whole season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or 2 seasons. 2 series or whatever.
two series.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I'm not even going to look, though. Just as like you pull out like a random example. The other guy was on like 7 episodes of Dexter for like the whole. So I don't know. He was a guy at the place or something. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move right along to our next film.
Word.
Here Alone. Here Alone, we may have seen a trailer or a teaser for this.
I think we might have seen something very similar. I don't want to say that we've seen
From
this.
the box art on the front and the back of a dirty purse, a dirty girl, I'm like, yeah, that could be something we've seen. Not jumping on a bell here. Let's read the back and see if this is indeed something we've seen before. Isolated in the wilderness, Anne, played by Lucy Walters, struggles to survive after a mysterious epidemic decimates society. Anne's solitary and regimented life is haunted by memories of her past and threatened by bloodthirsty zombies. So a second zombie movie. Known as the infected that lurk just outside the forest's border. And on a desperate journey to forage for food, Anne meets a teenage girl and her injured stepfather. Initially reluctant to let others into her world, Anne relents for both physical and emotional survival. As the infected close in on the trio is forced to fight for their lives, Anne must face the painful truth that these survivors may be more dangerous than the infected.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you saying that in a world full of dangerous monsters that humans are the real monsters?
My goodness. Was this written by Rod Serling?
Was this written by everyone? I remember the trailer with a dirty woman. I won't say dirty girl. I'll be respectful.
I didn't mean anything by Dirty
No,
Girl.
I was joking because I
Okay.
said Dirty Girl before. I remembered someone like caked with like mud and all that.
She is caked.
Surviving in this outside. The trailer we watched was almost like pretentious. We didn't see zombies. We didn't see anything. We didn't see them meet up with anybody. It was just a lot of shots. We saw a trailer at some point. A lot of shots of someone like surviving in the woods, having flashbacks or future fronts to like people and like the world not being like this or whatever. So I'm not sure exactly. And I think I was like, this could be something, and you were like, what the hell is this? What's going on? Like that type of deal. So
That sounds like me.
wouldn't have been very memorable at the time.
Yeah, so the writer and director of this don't jump out at me as having
No.
seen them in anything.
Well, and so looking at it now, the trailer that's out there, you see full-on people with contacts in eating chunks of meat and stuff. Like it's clearly just a zombie movie or whatever.
Okay.
Which makes me less. I was like more interested when I was like, "What is this?" Now I'm like, now that I know what it is, I'm like, I don't know if I'm interested anymore.
That's the
whatever.
annoying
Yeah.
and the reason why people make these vague trailers though,
Yeah.
because like, oh, this could be anything, and your mind auto fills in something that you want to see,
Yeah.
and then when it's spoon feeding you shit, you're like, oh man. And I'd say that is it. I haven't seen that detailed trailer for this movie. It sounds
Yeah.
interesting enough. I do dislike the almost 80s style of like ruining the movie with the back of the box.
that
And
what's
these
happening
people
here?
might be more than they seem.
Oh.
Could be the most dangerous. Because wouldn't that be a nice twist when you're watching a movie? Oh, she found friends. Oh, they're evil. Are they evil? I think they're bad.
Are they cannibals,
But the
eh?
box, they may be more than that. Like, why tell me that?
Yeah, that is old school where they would do
Yeah.
that. Where it's like, well, we're not going to want to watch the movie if they think it's just about zombies in the post-apocalypse. We got to throw in the stinger.
We got to tell them that she
thing-
has to defuse a bomb in the
Yeah.
last 5 minutes,
The thing-
and does with 1 second remaining.
things that- the
Why is
thing-
that on the back of the
The
box?
thing that makes our movie unique, that people are the real danger. And you're like, okay, great.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if it's the same trailer that I remember thinking that it looked cool anyway.
Okay.
Just about whatever it is. But yeah, I don't know.
All right, our next movie is The Cropsy Incident.
Word.
So I haven't seen this one personally, but I did. I was in the room when this movie was playing, and not super impressed by it. It's like
Did not leave a good impression on
virtually
you?
a found footage thing, but there's definitely were cuts that were not specifically from another camera, like a better quality camera, but a lot of that, I have a cheap camera in the woods kind of feel.
Yeah, I'm confused whether this
the
is
back of the
urban-
box also like kind of just shows like straight lines striated like
that
bad footage.
Got a dude with a bag on his head?
Looks like it.
I'm not sure if this is a real urban legend or an urban legend that was drummed up to make a movie about it or what. I'm not sure.
I feel like I've heard
I think
of
I've heard
Cropsy
Cropsy.
before 2017, and that's
Sure.
I think when this came out.
Yeah.
This is a Horror Packs exclusive, so I don't know where I even saw the original one. I think it must have been on Hulu or Netflix or Amazon or some bullshit.
Yeah.
The back of the box says, "The urban legend is real. A group of online social justice activists ventured deep into the woods to uncover the truth behind the recent series of gruesome ritual murders and to capture the person responsible. But what they come face to face with is something more deadly than any serial killer, an urban legend that is very real and determined to make them his latest victims." I love those things. That's like they're like, we're going to get the Jersey Devil. I'm going to put it in a bag. Like, there's gruesome murders.
Well, yeah, why are
this
they-
is not like, oh, I think there's a Loch Ness monster. Someone's killing people.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? I'm going to go out there. I'm going to catch it on tape.
Yeah.
And I'm going to catch this sucker.
We're gonna Scooby Gang this vicious murder. No, I don't know if their plan would be to bring him to justice or to kill, because like best case scenario, it's a person killing people.
Yes.
And that's not a good situation to be in. So worst case scenario,
No.
Cropsy is real, and whatever Cropsy is will be.
But you're
more
a
than you can
social
handle.
justice warrior.
Why would they say
warrior is in the name.
Why would they say
You're
that?
ready for war.
Why is that the thing in the movie? Why is it social justice people? What social injustice is Cropsy performing?
Maybe they're only killing minorities.
Okay, maybe we need a more woke urban legend. The Jersey Devil, super woke. Spill that tea all over the internet.
All right, so those are the 4 DVDs for this month. To move into
What would you say is your most like where you? I'm putting my money on Here Alone. I think.
Here Alone would be my
Yeah?
vote. That would be
Okay.
my vote.
Sure.
My second would be almost by default would be Danny Trejo in the Voodoo Possession.
Okay.
Mostly because I've seen this one already and I know where it
Oh,
stands.
that's true.
And this one I've seen some of it, and both those
You know
are
where
like,
it stands.
yeah.
No, I was gonna say you were gonna go for this one, but if you've seen it already and you verify the quality, then I
Yeah,
understand. I figured you might be like, no, like creatures. I need it in my life. Yeah.
No, I would always vote for a creature if it's good,
Yeah.
and I would vote for one that I hadn't seen to be
Yeah.
like, oh, that might be good,
Right.
but I know that one's not good.
Right.
And this one, I don't really care for found footage unless it's done really well.
I know.
And like lately, that's just usually an excuse to make a movie, like cheaply and hide your sins.
What was the Bobcat Goldthwait one? Something Creek?
Oh, that was
Willow Creek.
Willow Creek, yeah.
Willow Creek. I feel like found footage peaked with Willow Creek.
Willow Creek, again, I enjoyed a lot of it, but I still can't even recommend Willow Creek.
No. Well, just to insert that that review into this review, I feel like it nails what found footage, like realistic found footage, should be, and simultaneously demonstrates why you don't make movies about that.
Willow Creek
Right?
was the best found footage probably since Blair Witch.
Yeah.
And those are like on the very short list of ones that I even found tolerable.
But watching it, you're like, well, I don't think you can do better than this with found footage. They did a lot of tricks and a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not really enjoyable.
No.
Good movie though, I think. Somewhere
All right.
buried deep
So we're
down.
betting our money on Here Alone.
Of the DVDs, we got Here Alone, I think, is the front runner.
All right, the first of the Blu-ray bunch is Walden. All right, Walden. So Misha Barton, Cameron Bright, the only two names on here I know. On the IMDb, the first build is a Tim Allen. That is not the Tim Allen you think of.
What a dirty trick.
So Misha Barton, she's a TV person. She was in like the OC, and I think she got killed off that to try to movie career it, but I don't think that worked out for her.
Ouch.
Potentially, this could be a proof. Cameron Bright, he was in like X-Men. He was running and Scared. Was he in The Omen? Was he the child from The Omen?
Do you know who he is in the X-Men?
He was Leech.
Oh. So nobody. Okay.
Well, he was a roughly main character of that movie.
Oh. Oh, he was that stupid kid that
Yeah.
was like sapping the powers or whatever? Oh, no. Okay.
They actually might not have credited him as Leech, but he was.
Oh,
he
no.
was Leech.
I gotcha.
But yeah, all right. So Walden, we got a couple of names in this. Let's
Sure.
let's see where we go from there. Based on the best-selling book and graphic novel, comic book movie.
Uh-oh.
In 1993, 16 bodies were found entombed within the Malstraza building. Malstraza.
Malstraza.
A mysterious apartment complex built by one of the world's most renowned yet eccentric architects. The killer was never caught. 15 years later, newly graduated structural engineer Sam Walzak, played by Misha Barton.
I'm sorry, your name is Wall something and you're an architect?
Walzak, Walzak,
Okay.
arrives to prepare the site for demolition. But this massive concrete crypt is not entirely empty. Its halls are lined with secrets. Its rooms are filled with fear. And behind its walls, the ultimate horror has lay waiting. The ultimate horror has lay waiting until now. Cameron Bright from X-Men Last Stand. Deborah Kara from the Silent Hill. I don't know who she played. Maybe the cop? I don't know. And Noam Jenkins from Saw. Co-star in a saga of terror, torment, and shocking twists based on the best-selling horror novel.
Okay, so something's in the walls.
Yes.
That's a little clunky to me that kids died a long time ago and now someone's back there like unearthing it or whatever. Like, I don't know if I would mention the kids first in that scenario.
I don't
but
know.
That's fine.
That back description didn't grab me entirely.
Yeah.
I think you could have been a lot more vague with that, and
Totes.
it would have gave me a little bit more.
Like, why do I have to know that the kids in the concrete of the foundation were from 1993?
Yeah.
Like, does that help me in some way?
Yeah. Why do I need to know how
understand.
many years later it was? Like.
Yeah.
And if it's an anniversary thing, I'm sure they'll tell me that in the
They'll
exposition.
plaster it all over the place.
Yeah, that'll be a thing.
Sure.
But if it was good enough to be a novel and a comic that then got translated into a movie,
That's what gives me pause, because looking at the box, this is like I'm least interested in this type of thing. It's just people looking concerned and stuff. There's like
well, because
nothing
this
here.
could be a whole
But,
bunch of directions.
yeah.
Like the horror could be in like a psychological sense, where like as we're tearing it down, we find the bodies, and then there's them going through like those like rolling things of newspapers, like what happened?
Microfiche.
Oh my God, this and that. Or
Yeah.
was this like a demon sacrifice thing, and there's actually a monster in the walls?
Well, so they're like, oh, the terror
Ghosts?
the
Who
terror's in the walls, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, are there 6 kids? Are there 7 things, 6 kids, and 1 thing that killed them, but then got caught in the building? I don't understand. But yes, if this is like a session 9, like a weird, interesting thing, I'll be like, okay, cool. or like what was that one with the house and the Oculus or whatever, like something
Oculus
weird
was great.
happening. Yeah, but like I'm concerned that there's essentially no like real screenshots anywhere on this box.
Yes.
It's like art or something. So I don't know.
And sometimes you get a thing where these these books or novels or graphic novels are bought up relatively cheaply because they were like best selling, and that like doesn't necessarily mean much.
Yeah.
And like it's shot by like college students.
Or somebody was like, what can we get the rights to? Okay, do this.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm open to it. The names alone do make me believe that there's at least something there because there are people that have to get paid. Well, because you can make a lot of movies with paying nobody.
Exactly.
We've done it. But
we've proven it's possible.
I don't know. I'd say that it could be good.
No. I'm open, optimistic on that one. I'm not like it's probably trash.
Right.
Probably
The
trash, though.
next movie in this horror box is Life Changer. So Life Changer, I've heard about. I've seen the trailer. I've actually seen a person do a talk on this.
Oh no!
On this movie.
You're so much more prepared than I am.
It actually looks pretty awesome. I'm just gonna read you the back here so you can get a little bit more into what I know. Drew has an identity problem. Every few days he has to shapeshift or face a painful death. He has to find somebody and make a copy. He takes everything, their looks, their memories, their hopes, their dreams, their entire life. He becomes them, and they die horribly. Lately, the changes are becoming more frequent. Facing his imminent death, Drew sets out on one final blood-soaked mission.
Yeah, dog.
So I know far too much
awesome.
about that movie to really be impartial and give a thing on, but I think this looks pretty good. I understand it was done on a relatively low budget, and for that budget, it comes out really nice.
This is the kind of movie you can do in like a small way and get a lot out of it. This is super awesome.
Yeah, I'm actually impressed
shit.
at certain parts of it not being set on the back of the box here.
Okay. This is 2018. Rotten Tomatoes says no consensus, but like 90% audience and critic.
Yeah.
Wow, a lot of commentary stuff on here. I could see myself getting into this.
It seems like it could be a good movie.
That's a whole unique premise. Like you don't hear that or see that as much, right?
Well, it almost reminds straight up this X-Files episode where the guy has like the ability to take things, but he doesn't also die horribly for not taking him. Then there's like what are they called? There's a thing in like paranormal stuff that does this. Not homunculus or whatever. There's like these there's these creatures that do this.
Sure.
But they just move on. They take you, they eat your body, and they like act like you,
They
and
turn
then
into
do
you
it and do more.
until the hunger takes them again. No,
Yeah.
that's a dope premise. Like not that that's the most unique thing in the world that I couldn't see someone get into, but I haven't seen a movie that uses this as the premise. This is a cool thing.
No.
Because like shapeshift is like, oh cool, you can just shapeshift. It's free, and it's like, oh no, this is like the blessing and a curse thing. I could see it being really interesting, body horror like type stuff or whatever. So. I'm down.
Yeah, so that looks interesting.
Life changer.
All right, the next one in this box is Antibirth.
Ooh.
So Antibirth, I've not heard a single thing about it, but looking at the back and seeing the characters in this movie, I'm like, okay, this looks interesting. So we have Meg Tilly, we have Chloe Sevigny, and Natasha Lyonne.
Sevigny.
So I'll read the back of the box here for you. Hard drinking, pill popping, bong ripping Lou. That's Natasha Lyonne from Orange is the New Black. And her best friend, Sadie, that's Chloe Sevigny, she's from American Horror Story, spend their days adrift in a druggy haze. But one wild night out becomes a bad trip that never ends when Lou wakes up with the symptoms of an unexplained, highly abnormal pregnancy. Who or what is growing inside her? As her due date approaches with alarming swiftness, the fear, paranoia, and conspiracy theories begin to pile up. Spiked with blast of hallucinatory color, surreal shocks, and subversive comedy, this audacious feature, debut from Danny Perez, is a no-holds-barred descent into delirium. This weird, messy, and oddly fascinating film also stars Meg Tilly from Psycho 2 and Mark Webber from The Green Room.
I'm down. I think I saw this trailer actually on Netflix.
Look at the back of that box. So I've not seen anything about this. The color choices and everything about that looks great. I like these characters, and I could totally see myself enjoying this movie.
Yeah, it seemed like it was like a loud, obnoxious color movie. A lot of like greens and purples and big stuff and all that stuff. So it reminds me of like the Reanimator type of thing, right?
Okay.
Apparently anti-birth, maybe it's like afterbirth, like whatever or something. I love the trope of the alarmingly rapid pregnancy. That's really dumb. But
I think that's interesting.
It's an interesting thing because.
But that's one of those things.
It's so
like
horrible.
I could put myself in that. Like all of a sudden, like what?
Yes.
What? Because
No,
at first you're like,
that.
did I even like I was in a drug-induced haze? Did I even sleep with somebody? How is this happening so quickly? What's happening?
No, I love the idea of like the main character not being reliable or questioning their sanity.
Sure.
And they're hinting at like drug binges / like delusional horror movie.
Yeah. So not even all the characters might be totally unreliable.
So it's like that's a cool thing, and like the look. I think.
And this is a really cool cover. Like check out that box. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
All right, the last movie in this pack. So far, Blu-rays seem to be stronger than the DVDs for me. All right, we got Baskin. Baskin. This is one of the best horror films of the decade, says Chris Alexander, shocked till you drop. Not since Hellraiser have I witnessed such a frightening personification of evil, modernhorrors.com. Those are some standout quotes right there. It was Best Director at Fantastic Fest. That's pretty good. Official selection at the Toronto International Film Festival. The Canadians are hard to please. Couldn't win there. A squad of unsuspecting cops enter the blood-splattered bowels of hell when they stumble upon a black mask and unspeakable horrors in an abandoned building. In this tour de force feature debut from ferociously talented director Con Evernall, inspiration is drawn from Apocalypse Now and Hellraiser, as well as artistic works of Caravaggio and H.R. Giger.
Yeah, Giger are the alien guy, the aliens guy. Yeah.
So like it has a couple of frames in the back there that like certainly look interesting, and it looks like a classic, like a modern classic shot, like how things are shot. They have a feel to them that you don't see that much any longer. That is akin to like it actually does like it says Hellraiser is something that it is.
Yeah, it has like a realness to it.
And yes. You wouldn't be surprised if you saw some like stop motiony weird things.
This
and
person
stuff
looks wet and unhappy, and that's what I'm looking for. I believe this is foreign. I believe this might be.
All those names made me believe it was foreign.
Right, the Gon Gefrichtenspiel, whatever.
Is the English language of top priority here.
Seems like
this is not. So this is a not even dubbed.
Oh
this
no.
is a Turkish film.
Okay, is that a deal breaker for you? What do you
English
think?
subtitles.
It might be like. People can make some pretty interesting stuff.
Oh, we've watched a couple.
I'm down to see
In
some
general,
weird stuff.
I'm not the biggest fan of subtitles.
Yeah.
Mostly because in my life, when I watch movies, I'm generally either not like right on there. I wear glasses, so if it's at night, I take my glasses off and I can't read. Or I'm on like a treadmill and I'm moving and I can't, it's hard to track with the writing and catch everything going on. That won't stop me from watching a good movie, but it's certainly a hindrance. It usually gets things pushed back.
I think of all the genres, of all the genres, probably comedy would be the worst to watch subbed. Horror might be one of the best, if not action or whatever.
Horror is the best because there's a lot of ones that don't have a lot of talking at all.
Yeah.
But some of them have these crazy long exposition things that are really fast, and I'm like, come on.
I'm worried about this. When you learn about how the demon works and what his weakness is, and you're like, listen, dog, I can't be reading all this.
The biggest annoyance to me is like when they don't take into account where they are when they're filming a movie that's going to not have English language.
Oh, interesting.
So like it's like, they're in like a super white room or a super black room, depending on what color the subtitles are. And I'm like, I can't fucking read it because it's the same color as the world.
Right.
I like it when they put their subtitles in a black box with white text or a white box with black text. I know it takes away from the visual, but I can actually fucking read it.
No, I know. People find that obnoxious, but if you don't pay a lot of attention to that, you have like off yellow subtitles on like, well this scene's outside during the day and the thing and the
it
white.
It seems like the most important things happen at those moments. It's like a dog barking during and the murderer is, you're like, why? Barf. Why are you doing this?
Murderer is Barf McWoof.
But yeah, so certainly I'm going to say Blu-ray trumped DVD this round. And I'm hard pressed, honestly, to say which one I'm looking forward to the most here. I
think for various reasons I'm between these two.
Yes. So this one is like Walden is out of the running for I think the best one for me. And I think Baskin also drops off that just for being foreign. So like that's not a shot on the movie. That's a shot on my personal preferences here. These two here, I know so much about. Life Changer that I think that's going to be really good.
Yeah.
But not knowing a lot about this one is also kind of interesting to me.
Piqued your interest, yeah.
I'm going to say it's a tie for me on both of these. Oh, and I did not mention, so the Horror Pack Limited Edition Blu-ray is the Life Changer one. So that one...
Okay. That's the exclusive or whatever?
It doesn't say exclusive, but it might not be on Blu-ray, or that might be a special cover, but that is the limited edition for this pack. So if you didn't get this Horror Pack, I'll see you on eBay.
Most stuff. Yeah, totally agree. Looking forward to watching some of these. So, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a pretty good week, guys, I think, overall. To walk away with 5 movies, 5.5, that you're like, oh, okay, like, I'll check that out. I'm interested in it. I think that's a good deal. These are things that wouldn't have necessarily been brought to my attention. So I had the only one, so I have this one, and I've heard about this one, but the rest of them, I'm like, okay, those are kind of things that I don't know about. I can walk into those relatively blind, and I'm like, that's cool. So horror packs in general, I think, is a good deal. I'd say recommend going with both. This particular turn, you didn't luck out with that great DVD pack, but the Blu-ray one, more than made up for it. And some weeks, the DVD one's awesome.
If you got the pack and you disagree with us, you want us to watch something that we're sleeping on, let us know.
We're definitely going to do a review on some of these.
I'm thinking Life Changer deserves some attention. What do you think?
I'm thinking Life Changer.
Have you seen the movie or just?
I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen a good amount on it. But I'd be willing to watch it. So, cool. And I definitely want to check this one out. So totally. I think you can expect a Life Changer and an Anti-Birth movie review in the future.
Cool.
And if there's something else here you want to hear us talk about, let us know. Until then, guys, we'll see you next time. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you then.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.